last 2 to 3 weeks have been hectic for me as far as like coaching, but I mean that in a good way though. I mean, putting people on stage, nailing everything. I can't complain about shit other than just being busy, and I ain't complaining about being busy.
100%. You're one of those people that this has been your life for a while now. If you had it any other way, you would probably be anxious. Like if you had just nothing to do for a week,
no, not so much. I can handle both of it. Like I can see both extremes because I've went before, you know, like especially during the wintertime, right? Like you don't have anyone competing because there's really not many shows. Like I can go 3 months and not put anyone on stage. It's always that last 2 to 3 weeks when you're like doing check-ins like every other day or sometimes daily with certain people that, you know, obviously it's more time consuming, but that's exactly what you need to do in order to dial someone in. And I actually looked at my phone. So I'm horrible with Instagram. Everybody knows that follows me. So I make posts that's like fucking 3 weeks old. So I think I have like 14 posts that I need to make, 14 or 15 posts with clients. So like this past week, it was like, it started with 9 originally. And due to some issues with flights and whatnot, you know, we ended up going down to 7 people over the course of this past weekend. So like I had to like push all my friends aside, like be like, hey guys, like I'll get back to you later. I'm strictly business this weekend.
Yeah.
You know, when you got like 9, when you got 7 to 9 people going on stage in one day, like you literally don't have the time to, like when me and Joe goes to the gym, that's gym time, and everything else, I don't got time.
No, yeah. Okay, so let's say it's like a slow couple of months, right? Let's say it's December or something. Do you find that you fill your time up with like maybe fishing or other things?
Yes,
or do you just okay? Yep. Or are you okay just saying, "Oh, finally, I have a slow month. Let me just like not do much."
No, I got to stay moving. I got to be doing something. I will say this December, I am going to be taking, and I'm going to notify all my clients on this too. That way, everybody's on the same page. But I haven't had a vacation that I haven't worked through the vacation in over 10 years.
Okay.
So this December, I'm going to put my last client on stage, and I'm going to say, hey guys, I need everybody to check in on this day, this day, this day. And I'm going to say, if you don't check in by this day, my phone is going to be off. Like, I mean, not like on airplane mode. I'm going to turn it off and buy a wristwatch.
Yeah.
I'm going somewhere where it's cold because I'm tired of this 110-degree bullshit here in like Florida.
Yeah.
So I don't care. I'll go to like the Northern Territories in Canada and just turn my phone off just to be alone for like a week. I think it'd be a little bit good just to decompress and do something like for myself.
No, for sure. With coaching, there has to be boundaries, man. There just has to be.
Oh no, it's not like that. It's not that I'm talking about like boundaries. It's just like I do spend a lot of time on my phone because I used to work like I used to have it set so I was doing 3 days a week and then 4 days a week and then 5 days a week and now I'm at 7 days a week and I'm like, okay, you can't keep this shit going 7 days a week for the rest of your life. I was like, you got to at least have this vacation. I was like, I need that. Yeah, I deserve that.
Yeah. Yeah. What I learned about myself is I'm not somebody who can have, honestly, I struggle having more than like 10 clients. If I'm being completely honest, it's not as easy as people think it is, man.
No, it's really not. I mean, it's not like physically hard work. Like you're not like working your fingers to the bone, but you're working your brain on every brain cell you got. Like from the time you wake up, like literally for the last 2 or 3 weeks, my morning ritual is I wake up around 6, sometimes 7. I go over here and I make my coffee, and then I go right out back and I sit there and I drink my coffee outside at like 6 o'clock in the morning while doing like check-ins because like the first thing I do is I scan my phone. I'm like, okay, he's 2 weeks out, he's 3 weeks out. These guys come priority, and once I get the competitors out of the way, I'll take a little bit of time to decompress in the mornings, and then I'll go right back to work.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I also feel like there's different levels of coaching, not necessarily how good you are as a coach, but like your I guess popularity or who you are in the sport, right? So let's say if you go, with all due respect, let's say if you go to Chad, you might have to wait 2 weeks to get a reply. It is what it is. You know, so I mean, well, unless you're Big Ramy, but let's say you're like an amateur. First of all, if you're a local amateur guy, I'm sorry, you shouldn't be hiring Chad Nichols, just because if you understand how. I'm trying to say this not in like a fucked up way, but the truth is like a lot of the old school coaches, the OGs, they don't necessarily give the most energy to like just local guys. If I'm being completely honest, right?
Someone like Chad, I don't think Chad really works with that many people now. Like, I think I'm sure he has a couple that he's like just kind of keeping hidden away. Like, I'm sure Chad's still looking for another Olympia title somewhere.
For sure.
Like, if you come to him and he sees that type of potential, he's going to take you on. But like, I feel like if Chad sees you as like, okay, maybe in 3 or 4 years from now, we will be a good fit, but not right now.
Exactly. So I would put Chad and Hani in that category. Chris Aceto a little bit less, because I actually know Chris Aceto. He works with like local guys at the gym, at my gym and stuff. Because
and dude, I gotta give Chris respect, man, because like I met like 2 or 3 of Chris's clients in Tampa. I was like, hey man, when you text Chris, how long does it take to get a response? He goes, 5 to 6 minutes. I'm like, damn, man. Like, Chris is the guy, like, I mean, he's got a wife too, right?
Yeah, he had a wife and kids, bro. He have like, I think he had like 3 or 4 kids.
Chris has got like, you know how different people just work on different wavelengths. Yeah. Chris is a guy, I feel like he only sleeps like 4 or 5 hours a night, and he is there all day, every day. For me, I kind of try to set my boundaries like at normal business hours. Like 6 a.m. is not normal business hours, but I get up at 6 and I get started. But like after 5 p.m., like, so it's 4:10 here right now. So like when we get off this podcast, if anybody checks in between like 4 to 5, I get back to them. If you check in after 5, I'm sorry, but like I have to have my own space just for my own mental health, I guess you could say. So I'm not staring at the phone all day. I'll get back to you tomorrow morning, unless you're a prep client or it's like an emergency. I mean, I can kind of screen the message to see what it is, but if it's a check-in at like 8 o'clock, sorry, man, I'm going to get you at 6 o'clock in the morning. But on the flip side, I'm still getting to you within a 12-hour period, no matter what.
Yeah. Okay.
So I feel like whether you're coaching an Olympian or whether you're coaching a rookie for a novice division, and I'm going to shit on a few coaches with this, but like if your response time is more than 24 hours, and that's, I mean, mine has been before, but I've had emergencies. You know, we all do from time to time. But if it's a normal thing that it takes 3 or 4 days, either you don't give a shit about what you're doing, or you've taken on so much workload that your quality is now suffering, which also means you don't give a shit. You're doing it for the money, which I mean, we all do it for the money. We all want to make money. But like there's a fine line where like your integrity, you can't sell your integrity to make more money.
Exactly. So I feel like there's a right way to do it. Let's say, some people might consider this rude or like elitist, right? But let's say you go to Hani, right? Hey, I'm a local guy getting ready for the Cal. I want you to coach me. He's gonna say, nah.
Yeah, he's just gonna tell you. He won't say it like no. He'll just say, I actually don't think he's coaching anyone now, right?
No. Right now, but what I'm saying.
Yeah. He would have just looked at you and said, I'm full, man. I literally don't have the time.
What I'm saying is some people may get a little bit, may think it's a little bit maybe rude or you should coach everybody. But the truth is, the alternative would be what some coaches do, would be take you on anyways and not actually coach you. Either have somebody else coach you or just give you some bullshit and never get back to you. But we've heard that happen a lot of times, you know?
Oh, it's happened more time than we can count. So, like, my thing is once I get to that threshold, and I'm not there yet, but I'm actually getting back to it. Like, if I can get to about, I think 100 to 120 is where, like, I don't go crazy, but, like, I can still handle it. I mean, obviously, I've been as low as, like, 40 to 50, and life is great because I have all kinds of free time. I can spot clean the house and do whatever I want to do. Yeah. But when you get past 120, in my opinion, Anything above 120, your quality goes down. Because I've had 140 and 150, and like my head just feels like it's going to explode. I'm like, I know eventually you always have that guy who'll sign up with you for a month and he leaves.
Yeah.
When they start leaving, I actually closed my doors for a while. I was like, I can't do this because like I want to be able to give everyone the proper attention that they need. Even if you're like getting ready for, even if I know you're not going to win a show, like we got more work to do, but like you want to get on stage, I'm going to do my absolute fucking best to make you the best that you can be at that moment in time. So like I don't really treat my top level guys. Can you still see me right now?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. I had a phone call coming in. I just want to make sure you can still see me. But I don't really treat my top level guys any differently than I do my lower level guys. Like even my lifestyle clients, I still get back to them timely. I answer all their questions and I try to cover everything in as much detail as I can. And I do that a lot in the initial plan. That way there's not a lot of questions down the road. That way we're all on the same page. But there's always questions because everybody's different in the way that we do things.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you said that about your top guys, but the thing is, for me, also I didn't watching a lot of your top guys became top guys with you, right? They didn't So Joe might actually be the highest ranking guy at this point because he
is right now.
all the. We see he beat all the Olympians basically, but most Olympians. So, but he literally
started he beat 11th, 12th, and 13th place.
Exactly, and that's arguable because I kind of had John Jewett higher at the Olympia last year. I kind of even had Joe higher at this particular show. So
I think it's like if you look at things, it just everyone has their own opinion about it, and like I'll actually reserve my own opinion on this. So I'm just going to call it straight down the middle. Nobody in the show touched the back shots. Nobody. It wasn't fucking close.
No.
Now, from the front, Quint smokes everyone in the front.
He looks insane.
I'm just going to say it because of that structure. He has a lot of muscle, and he still, unfortunately, because he's tall, he needs more muscle. The Quint has the highest ceiling of anyone on that stage.
He might have the highest ceiling of anyone at all, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, because if you remember, like 6 or 7 years ago, when Samson was like just up and coming, nobody ever thought that guy was going to become Mr. Olympia. And look where he's at now. He is the champ. So I feel like if Quint can still play his cards right, because remember, Samson never could get his conditioning right. Finally, and he still never gets it 100%, but like he's got so much muscle and density about him that he's beating guys at 90%. When he's 90%, he's still beating everybody at 100. So like Quint has that level of potential, but he needs more muscle to do that. Like, right now,
that's simple.
He topped a few guys that arguably was more muscular than him. Like Joe, pound for pound, has more muscle, and he's also more conditioned. Quint's got a better shape, and he's also got a bigger frame. If Quint can fill that frame out, it's going to be very, very impressive. I don't think it's going to happen this year. And to be fair, I don't think it's going to happen next year because he's big, man. Like I see, like really the first time I've met him in person, but he's always been very covered up. Like, you just see a 6 foot plus bodybuilder. You can see he's in a shirt. Like, yeah, it's a big dude. But when he takes his shirt off, you realize how big he actually is. But he needs probably 25 more pounds. And I know that sounds ridiculous. But because we have a big frame, that's like me saying I need 8 to 10 more. He needs like 20 to 25 to fill that out. If Quint can bring a little bit more conditioning with like 20 to maybe even 30 pounds of muscle, it's going to be a bad day for everyone else as long as his conditioning is right.
This is the tough part. And the good thing is that I think people are starting to I feel like the bodybuilding world is starting to understand that it's not as simple as we think to just say, just come and shred it, bro. Right? It is that simple for some people, so like where you working with me, right? There's this balance that's hard to balance because it's like, okay, you need low calories and high cardio to get in shape, but then when you when you stay there too long, you lose your pop, and then you actually look less conditioned. You see Quint, when Quint is full, he has these striations. He's flat, is gone. You're like, well, you're soft, right? So, like, let's say Matt Jackson's probably like, oh, I don't see the striations. Let me bring him down.
Yeah.
Which is not like a bad thing, because with a lot of people, let's be real, most people just need to get leaner, straight up. So that's not a bad way to think, but it's like it's tricky with the West African guys because it's just pushing.
Yeah, I do think like so, I mean, obviously, I figure we're probably going to break down the top 5 here in a few minutes, but since we're talking about Quint,
I'm gonna just pull it up now. I might as well, since we're talking about.
I think with Quint, he needs more hamstring, specifically more back detail, more back depth, more glutes, and more. I don't want to say he needs bigger glutes. He just needs a little bit more polish to it, which is going to be more overall conditioning. But when I'm looking at this physique, like this front double bicep, dude, I mean, that's hard to fucking beat, man. I don't care who you are, that's hard to beat.
Yeah. Well,
and I didn't expect this out of him. I told Joe going into the show, I said, because I saw everybody else's predictions, and like we're watching a podcast, and Joe's watching as well. And I said, man, turn that shit off, dude. I don't want that to get in your fucking head. Because they didn't really have him beating. They had like a lot of other guys up there. Most people got this show way the fuck wrong. Most people like John De La Rosa, and I'm like, John ain't fucking winning this unless they give it to him. Like that's the only way De La Rosa is going to win this. He had no chance in this lineup at all. No, and to be fair, I had John lower than 6th place. And I was right there, like there was like the VIP, there was general, there was another section kind of in the middle. I had really good seats. Like I said, I had John a little lower than that, but that's where everyone's prediction was. But I told Joe going into it, I said, Jordan Hutchinson is the guy that you have to beat. I said, Quint, I'm not counting on it. I said, but Quint could be, there's like a 5% chance he's going to show up on the mark. And if he does, he's going to be tough. But I really wasn't counting on it. But he shocked me, and I'll give him credit. I will not take that from him at all. And I do wish him the best, and I think he has the brightest future probably of any pro bodybuilder out right now with that structure and that talent. But see, this here, like, because he's so tall, when you look at his legs, they need more thickness, more density.
Yeah.
But like I said, he has the tools. But it is another one of those things, like you said, when he gets a little bit more polished, he's going to lose that pop and that 3D factor with him. So I think in order to overcome that, bigger. Continue getting bigger. So if he does go down a little bit in size, it's kind of like, you remember those old black and white pictures of Dorian Yates when he was like 280, 285?
Oh, yeah.
And nobody was going to beat that. At 285, like he could have won right there. But he came on down to like 260 something and got like stupid, like autistic shredded. Like he went fucking crazy on us. And Quint can put on like that significant amount of muscle and say, hey, you know what? I don't care about being full. I know I'm the biggest guy up there. That's a problem.
Yeah.
And he's young too. What's he, 28, 29?
Maximum 30. The oldest he could be is probably 30. Okay. But I mean, he might be younger, So people talk about Caucasian dry, right? And the truth is that a lot of the white guys actually just have more muscle tissue. What it is that the black guys, we bamboozle you. Exactly. We bamboozle you because it's bubbly. So you're like, this guy is huge. And I'm not going to say they're not huge, but
now Quinn really was big in person, like upper body. His legs is what's failing him. Like if he had Jordan Hutchinson's legs, if he had Jordan's legs and Joe's back.
Okay. But what I'm saying is like muscle fullness, there's a lot of fluid involved, right? Because water in the muscle is muscle, but there's a different look to it. So now you start drying out and you're like, whoa, I just lost all that pop. So you have to play it so safe. Whereas you look at somebody like Jordan, there's no water loss with Joe and Jordan. That the muscle you see is what you get. You diet it down, what you see is what you get. You don't have to mess around with things, right? It's just that's there, So the Caucasian dry shit is just that the white guys, they usually just actually have more contractile tissue. Without the pop, it's just like beef jerky, like beef jerky muscle.
Yeah, it's like
It's just real.
dehydrated
Yeah.
meat. Yeah.
And it comes like that. Jordan walks around in prep fucking dry, like stage dry, just because that's how his muscle looks. He doesn't have to be like, oh, I don't want to lose fullness here. That it's just diet, fill out, get on stage. You know. Sorry. So Jordan, low key, you wouldn't think this watching them off season, but Jordan has more muscle tissue than Quint. He's not a bigger person.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, as a whole, I mean, I'll say, like, Quint's a bigger guy, but when you start talking about pound for pound, like pound per square inch, yeah, Jordan's got more than Quint does.
Exactly. So it sounds crazy to keep telling these Nigerians more muscle, more muscle, more muscle, but it is what it is. Once one of these guys puts on I guess Samson has done it. That's why he won Miss Olympia.
And Ken's getting close to that too, man. Ken was like, I think Ken has been the most overlooked guy of the entire year.
He was. He was. He was definitely.
He's Nigerian as well, right?
He is. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. He was so overlooked in one of those shows because when he came out, he was the only guy. I was just like, oh shit, who's this? I didn't recognize him. Like I knew he was doing the show, but I did not recognize the physique when he came on stage.
Yeah, the commentators, Kai Green, Dennis James, I think Ian. It was a couple of them that were like, wait, they clearly how the hell did they miss this guy? Because they're looking at him like, wait, what? They're like, who's this guy? How did they miss him? Yeah, he's there. And once you get there, that's when you can really pull down and not have to worry about flattening out. And then it's just like,
when it comes to missing people, you will very rarely hear me say this phrase, and I'm going to give two people a compliment on this. But first, I'm going to start with Tim. Because Tim's not the judge, but Tim Gardner, the lights at this show was spot on. I wish we could have done without some of that bullshit in the background, but it was good. But back to the judging side of things, I'm going to say I saw something different from Tyler that I liked and I appreciated from him that I've never seen Steve or Sandy or Bill do. And I hope that they take note. That's not me throwing them under the bus. That's me saying, hey, Tyler's your VP. So, like, if anything, you should be following his lead, right? Mm-hmm. This is the guy that you answer to. But, like, he kind of gave everyone a chance. Like, at pre-judge, I was a little frustrated because they had Quint and Jordan in the middle, and then they had Joe and John on the side. I'm like, okay, top four, we're good. I said, but I don't want that. I said, I want him right beside John. Mm-hmm. I want to see Joe and John, and they would move them from side to side, but not side by side. So come finals, if you look at that scorecard, the scorecard said they were close at prejudge. I didn't agree with that, but I said, okay, fine. But when they put them side by side at finals, that was the deal breaker, or that was the deal sealer, not the deal breaker.
100%. It's funny because
I've never seen a third and a fourth place get called out like that, because that tells you they really wanted to work these guys. And Joe was prepared when it comes, and John is too, for that matter.
Yeah.
Both of them was prepared to work. They were both prepared to fight. John's tan kind of failed him a little bit on this one, if I'm being honest. But I think even if his tan was 100%, I think Joe was going to get him.
For sure. So in prejudging, I was just happy that they didn't miss Joe. So I was like, oh, fuck yeah, first call out. Then I'm like,
when he came out for his individuals, I said, because the crowd even made a little bit of noise. I was like, there's no way that this is going to be overlooked.
Yeah.
Like I knew, I was like, when he turns around and does that back shot, as soon as he hits that back double, you just woke every one of those judges up.
There's no chance.
If they're sleeping on you, they just woke up.
I actually saw Janicki at the gym. When was this? Maybe Wednesday or something. Yeah. And then me and him were talking about Joe. We was like, listen, I don't care if two of the judges are blind. I'm like, you can't miss it, because we saw him like a couple weeks ago, And they're like, there's no way, because the size and the detail and even the shape, like his waist looked better, sweeps were better. I like this, you can't miss it. And then people were like, at least, top 10, top. I'm like, fuck that. I'm like, I'm saying I'm saying closer to top 3.
I kept my mouth closed online. When I speak to someone in person, like I showed a couple of people a video that it was just like my own video. I was like, I ain't sending this to fucking nobody because it ain't leaking on the internet nowhere. But like I showed a couple people this video. They're like, how do you think he's going to do? You think he's going to get in the top 5? I'm like, no, man, he's not. We're going to win this. Like we're going to actually fucking win it. And they looked at me like I was nuts. And I was like, yeah, okay, well, here's your video. And you could just see the reaction when I showed him the video. And I said, don't forget, he's shorter than I am, and he's 248 pounds. Like, he's not small. The waist stayed intact. The quads improved. The only thing that we did not nail 100%, this was 2 things. Actually, I'm going to say 3 things here. We changed his front poses at like 1 day out. And I noticed on the stage, it's like, when you hardwire yourself to pose a certain way, and then you want to change it at the very last second. I don't think we executed them 100%, but he sent me his check-ins this morning, and it was absolutely right where it needs to be this morning. So you're going to see it. It won't look like this weekend in Texas.
Okay.
So when you see it in Texas, it's going to look different. And I will say, at Prejudge, his tan, Joe just doesn't take tan as good as some of the other guys do. Mm-hmm. So we immediately went back for more tan right after prejudging, like instantly. Yeah. And that made a big difference. And then I made one other change that and it's such a small change, man, but it made a drastic difference between prejudge and finals. Like, because when he came out at finals, he was bursting full with the same hardness. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we only had like 2.5 hours to do that as well. So it's not like, it didn't have anything to do with diuretics for anyone that's listening, because that would have fucked it up even worse. And no, he didn't go eat a burger and fries either. So it's not that simple. It was actually simpler than that. But there was one little thing there that we threw in, and it really brought his physique to life. And I'm going to replicate that for Texas at prejudging and also at finals. And I think you're going to see a much more improved Joe next weekend. Mm-hmm. So if Quentin Jordan slips, we're going to come for it.
Yeah.
And even if they don't slip, we're still coming for it, man. I'm banking on it. Like we're not coming just to place top 5.
Yeah, there's honestly, I feel like you have to see it in person to really appreciate it.
And when you do, there's a major wow factor.
Yeah, I mean, about 110%. So it's like I was glad I was watching Fuad's podcast and they were going crazy over his check-ins. But me having seen him in real life, I'm like, honestly, he doesn't look nowhere near what he actually looked in those videos. So I'm glad that you guys can actually tell from the video. I think they were really looking at his conditioning, which was really good. But the size and width.
Yeah, I don't think they realize how big he is.
No, no. Nobody besides the people that were at the show that I saw filming, and they're like, "What the fuck? Why is this guy this big?" Yeah, you got to see that.
And one other guy that did, and honestly, I'm not really giving him a shot on this one because he always nails it. But Gilco,
yeah.
His quality was spot on. Ironically, I parked right beside of him because his truck says like Gilco is his license plate. I was like, well, I'm glad everybody likes him, because if they don't, that wouldn't be good to put your name on your license plate.
Exactly.
But I don't know anybody that doesn't like that guy. So, and honestly, if he shook my hand, I wouldn't know who he is. I just know his work.
Me neither.
But I noticed like people when he would post individuals of like Shire and that Asian guy,
they look good,
big as fuck in the videos. Yes. But when they stood next to these guys, they were shallow.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? I mean, it's probably like a shape thing, obviously, like a structure thing. Because Shire is pretty bubbly. The Asian guy, well, I'm gonna pull it up right now. Honestly, I gotta be honest. In the Gilco video, I thought Shire looked really fucking good. Granted, like, there's no way he was gonna beat those top guys, right? But he looked really fucking good. I thought his
Fire didn't look bad at all. I mean, it's just like when you look at this video by itself, and you're going to think, how in the hell did
he got
that just
13.
place 13th?
Yeah.
But when you saw how deep that lineup was, and I'm not just going to talk about men's open bodybuilding, I was really in this show actually brought like almost like reignited more love for bodybuilding for me, because if you go back and look at the 212s, and you look at third call outs, that could be winning other pro shows, third call
100%.
outs.
100%.
And like these guys here would be first call out in most pro shows outside of, excluding the Arnold and the Olympia. This would be a first call out guy right here. I'm not knocking this physique, not one bit.
Yeah.
But when he stood next to some of the other guys, he just wasn't big enough.
Yeah.
I mean, he could use a little bit more conditioning as well. Not gonna lie, like I don't think this was Justin's sharpest conditioning we've ever seen him in. But like at any other show, I think he probably could have been a top 5 guy.
Yeah, yes. When Justin was on a podcast, I usually make a joke that he's black, right? Because he has the he has the same
big round muscle bellies too.
Yeah, and then he has some of the same like similar weaknesses as far as like trying not to lose muscle but be full and keep the legs and the glutes come in last. And it's like he has black guy problems, even though he's white. But same thing for him, like we said with Quint and everybody else. Unfortunately, it's like he has added a ton of muscle. Look at his quads were not that big before, so he's added muscle, but he just needs more. And like you said, it's not going to be tomorrow. It's not going to be in 6 months. He took a year off. Unfortunately, it's gonna take more time, bro. It just takes time,
Yeah,
everybody.
The only thing I'll say about Justin, and the only people that's going to know the true answer to this, is Justin Shire himself, and then obviously your first comment there is Justin Jacoby. And I don't, I talked to Jacoby at the show, but like I'm never the guy like, one coach don't ever talk to another coach. We don't talk about methods or supplements or diet. We just talk as like this guy's good, this guy's not good. We talk as friends. But I don't know where Shire's ceiling is, and when I say that, it's like I don't know how. Maybe he has. And again, I don't know a lot about Justin on a personal level. I don't know how at all. I'm talking about Justin Shires, not Jacoby.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where his dosages are at. I don't know. I know he has some of the best form in the world as far as training. No one, and that's that. And I don't think he's failing on his training. But I don't know what limits he's got as far as like maybe the guy has digestive issues. He can't eat a ton of food.
He does, yeah.
Does he?
Yeah, he has pretty bad digestion. So this off season, he wasn't able to get that much food in. And when he started prep, is actually when he started to be able to eat, which is the fucked up part. So he was able to eat more.
And that's the thing. It's like, when you're talking about guys like that has like Olympia level muscle, most people don't understand exactly how much food it takes to build that much tissue. Yeah. So if you're someone who struggles with appetite or digestion, man, that puts a limitation on how big you're going to be. And then 100%. When it comes to like hyper responders, when it comes to actually taking PEDs, I couldn't tell you if Justin's on 500 test or 1500. I couldn't tell you shit about him. I don't know where he's at, but like the potential's there, the shape is there. It's just going to take more size and more time. I mean, he's already won a pro show and he's already been at the Olympia, so no one can take that from him either. So I think it's just continuing to put in the work.
So I don't think he minds me saying it. I'm pretty sure he said it a couple times on my podcast, on another podcast. But his doses are pretty moderate, man. He doesn't go over 750 test. He's like, I think he's like maybe like a 400 or 500 mass guy, which for some people can get them up to 300 pounds. But for some people, I mean, you have to go
than others. I mean, I would say 750 tests and like 500 mass. Like that's not an off-season cycle I would recommend to someone. I'm not the guy. I've never been on the Master on train. Like I have so many guys that just ask me and beg to use it. Some I think it does work for, But like, it seems like it's becoming this thing where everybody's like, all you need is test and master on. I'm like, oh, right, because that's what all the Olympians in the past did. Not.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not trying to be a dick, but like, people are thinking that they're smarter, but they're not producing better physiques. So,
100%.
but that being said, forget what I mean, if that's like his compounds and that's like his thing, he has a lot to work with still. Assuming his body is receptive to it, because some people can't tolerate a lot of drugs.
Yeah. Well, I guess if his digestion is fucked, he has to fix that first before.
Yeah, there's no point. If you can't eat, there ain't no point in taking gear.
Because I know for me, my digestion gets worse when I take more gear. Usually,
mine got worse when I would throw orals to it. Like I got to the point that towards the end of my career, I couldn't take orals hardly.
Oh no, off season I can't. I mean, pre-contest and rebound sometimes, but yeah, off season there's no way. But back to the master on. This was the first year I did master on off season, and I mean, more of the same. The look on stage was better, but that had nothing to do with. I don't think that was a matter of the compound.
I don't think that's to do with master on the off season.
No, that was a matter of me not letting myself. So you probably don't know this because I never want a coach to go easier on me because how I'm feeling. But I'm sure you know I felt like shit.
Yeah.
But the training, bro. I might have told you once because it was so severe. But my training would take a huge hit, and then I just didn't allow that to happen. I'm like, if I could hack squat, let's say 6 plates off season. I mean, if I could get down to 4 plates, that's one thing. But I would get down to like, bro, 2 plates.
Yeah.
So at that point, it's like, bro, what is this bodybuilding or is this just like I'm a fucking sprinter at this point? So that's one thing I just didn't let happen. I didn't let my performance go to complete shit. So I think that was it. But the master on, all they really did was this. Look, baldy. So
it will definitely do that.
So long hair before this off season. Now granted, I kind of jumped the gun. I still have hair, but then once I shaved it, now it doesn't really want to grow. It doesn't want to grow the same. But it is what it is. We got to go to Turkey anyways. We're gonna go to Turkey soon. All right, so we looked at. Okay, was this guy as impressive in person as he was? I thought he was this guy. I thought he was really, really impressive. Not conditioning.
Okay, so here's the thing with him. This video, this is the shape that he has in person.
Okay.
And he's very impressive in person. The only thing I'm going to knock this guy on is keep in mind he came from 212s, if I'm not mistaken.
He did.
He's still just, when he stands there next to the big guys, he kind of gets overlooked. And I don't mean overlooked as in like they didn't pay attention to him. He doesn't have, like that right there. I mean, it looks fucking good. But this lineup was deep and everyone brought a great package. And it just wasn't enough here. Like this is another guy at most competitions. This would have been a top 5 physique.
Yeah, for sure.
I think he needs to be a little bit tighter, just a tiny bit, like throughout the legs, both front and backside. And obviously his back could have a little bit thinner skin as well. But from the front, I remember telling Joe, like I said, you'll beat this guy because you're so much bigger than him. I said, but if this guy could add like 20 pounds and come in sharp, that's another one. Like arguably his structure may be as good, or I don't want to say better, but he could be as good as someone like Quint. Like that waistline is just insane to look at. He's got big flaring quads. He's got everything. He needs to add a little bit more up top.
Yeah, it's pretty
a little bit more up top and a little bit more hardness and separation in his lower body. But I mean, he has a freak factor about him. Just needs a little bit more time. But he is there.
This is gonna sound super left field, but hear me out. He in a weird way, it reminds me of Sean Roden's physique because of the flaring quads in the waist. Not the biggest arms, but good enough. Not the biggest back, but enough. but just the crazy shape and proportions.
Yeah.
But Sean wasn't that big himself, but Sean was always peaked perfectly to the point that he shredded, but the fullness is there and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
If Sean was off his peak, he would drop like 5 places.
Yeah.
Basically, you know?
Yeah, Sean was always that's why he won the Olympia, was just because like he comes in with the right shape. That's his genetics, not he didn't really work for that. That's genetics. I mean, and he worked for the muscle he's got. And then the conditioning, he worked his ass off on the conditioning. He literally just made everybody else look fat.
But like Sean wasn't, first of all, he wasn't a huge guy. He was my height, so he was tall, but his structure, like walking around, his structure wasn't huge. I don't think he had a bigger structure than me, first of all.
No, he does not have a bigger structure than you at all.
He has smaller joints and stuff like that, which looks nice. But walking around at the gym, man, he wasn't impressive, bro. He wasn't impressive.
Speaking of Roden, some people need to like do a little bit of research before they like actually make a comment. Somebody made a comment. I don't know whose page it was on. I just saw it this morning, and they were like, "I can't wait for Sean Roden's comeback," and they didn't say that. And I'm like, I was like, "Yeah, I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon, man."
Yeah, not
if you're that far behind on what the hell is going on in the world, like a comeback, like
not this dimension. Maybe
I don't think he's going to be coming out of the grave for that.
No, you're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to wait some time to see that one.
You'll have to wait till we get to that afterlife.
Yeah, we're gonna have to, it's gonna be a really good match. There's gonna be some good matchups there, but
Sean's gonna be waiting for us. He's training for it right now, but it's not gonna happen on this planet. So
some of the fans are clueless. But to go back to the Sean comparison, so you take I think he got 9th, 10th, 11th?
No, I think I can't remember. No, Stu got 9th, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, so he's probably like 11th, because
I think he was lower. Yeah, I actually think this guy may have been a little overlooked, to be fair. Like, probably. I was quite pleased with the judging at the show, but this guy could have been a little bit overlooked. Like, if I'm being fair about it, if you stuck him beside De La Rosa, pose for pose,
I think he beats De La Rosa. I'm sorry.
I give this guy, and they gave De La Rosa 6th, but I don't think that John needed to be as high as 6th.
We all know John is one of the nicest guys. He's a great guy. So this is never it's just strictly bodybuilding. I didn't think John was in his normal shape. Actually, there's a video of John.
He made a retirement speech, right?
He did.
Well, not on stage, but he made a post that he's retiring. That was it. That was the final show.
I did see that.
I think he knew that, like, because he looked way downsized, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's flat." And I'm like, dude, he's not flat. He looks like he's down 15 pounds as normal. There's a difference in being flat and just simply, age finally catching up. And the one thing we can't do is we cannot beat Father Time. I don't care who you are.
Yeah,
like Dexter tried, and he held on longer than anybody. Him and Vince Taylor was ridiculous, but it will catch everyone. And John's probably around 40 now, if I had to guess. Now, if John wanted to go into the Masters and do like the Masters Olympia, I'd be like, yeah, man, I support you doing that.
I think so. Even the guys who do really good later, like Dexter, even though Dexter was winning shows, you compared 45 Dexter to 35-year-old Dexter, still wasn't the same physique. It was different.
When he won the Olympia in 2008, like, I remember Dexter would always say, like, I'm at my best. I'm like, nah, bro. Like, you're not at your best. You're still better than everybody else here.
Exactly.
But your best is when you won that Olympia, and there's a reason why you won the Olympia, because you just fucking mauled everyone.
Well, it's
not
like
the biggest guy, but he was very complete, and he really brought it that year. So that was Dexter's best, and he looked really good in 2009 as well. But that's when Jay just slammed the door on him.
I think he looked just as good in 2009, but
he did, yeah.
But it's one of those things that okay, it's like you take Sean Clarita, we take Sean Clarita the best, and we're like, nobody in 212 could beat this. Then we see Keon, and it's like, oh, well, I guess somebody can. Like, no matter how good you are, when somebody's better, they're just,
Well, Keon is the thing between those two is, I mean, you can look at the two on stage as well. Like Keon, do you know what Keon's height is?
Height, about 5'6" max, maybe 5'5.5".
Nah, I think he's shorter than that, man.
Okay, so let's say 5'5".
Because I've heard people say that Sean Clarita is 5'2".
I think he's shorter.
I don't believe it, man. I think Sean's like 5 foot.
I gotta be honest, me too. Yeah, I think.
And I think Keon is like 5'3", 5'4". Keon's probably closer to the 5'4" mark, if I had to guess. Because I mean, I've stood beside him, I've shook his hand, and like, I mean, maybe he's 5'5". Like, I think he's 5'4", but because he's still got, they both are under 212, but that a 4-inch difference on a frame, when you both have amazing genetics and amazing structure, that 4 inch of height is just going to overpower. I mean, it's just like when you look at Hottie versus Samson, right? Like Hottie's short and Samson's tall. If Samson's on, you can't. Your eyes are going to go to him
every time.
He's the bigger guy, like it's a big man sport. If the big man's off, he loses every time. But if the big man's on, screwed.
Yeah, you won't be able to keep up with it.
And in this case, Keon, by comparison to Clarita, is the big man.
Yeah.
And in all seriousness, I think Keon can do outside the Olympia and outside the Arnold. Keon can probably win any other pro show he wants to.
I think so. Okay,
people are completely underestimated. I can't wait. Like, if I ever get Patrick one-on-one, I'm just like, look, dude, get in his head a little bit if you need to. Like, make him do like Sean Clarita won an open pro show. Keon needs to take an open pro show as well. And before Keon retires, I'd like to see him take one stab at the Open Olympia. See where he
for sure, yeah. No, to be honest, I feel like he's for sure going to do that. I just feel like he's not in a rush, but he got to do that, bro. Come on, bro.
Yeah, he's young too. I mean, if he's not young, I mean, he looks young.
Yeah, he definitely.
When Keon is shaved and he's in shape, he don't look older than 25. I know he's older than 25, but he doesn't look older than that.
He looks super young. What would Keon have to do to fight for the open title? Like, from what he looks like right now to fighting with Derek, Hottie, Nick, and Samson.
Keon is, in my opinion, right now, pound for pound, pound per square inch.
Yes.
Sure. Conditioning, he's the most completed bodybuilder on the planet right now.
I agree.
I don't know anyone that is more complete than him. I didn't say he's the best, but he is the most complete. It's like Lee Priest, man. Lee Priest was complete as fuck, but he's 5'3" against Ronnie that's 5'11", right?
Yeah.
And he's got shape. He's got structure. He finally figured out how to get in shape. When he nailed that conditioning, I knew. I remember I kind of apologized to Patrick on this too, because like right before he won the Olympia, like 5 weeks out, like people were talking about their predictions, and I said Keon's like 5th place at best, and Patrick made a comment, like, we'll see about that, and I was like, bro, I wish you both luck, but like, and then he brought it. I was like, dude, I'm sorry about predicting. I was like, you fucking really got this shit together. So with Keon at 100%, I think, I don't know, man. It would just simply come down to a size game. Like, who has the bigger? It's like, we're talking about like Quint when it comes to size. Like, if Quint had a full, like if he had completely filled that frame out, maxed it out, and kept the structure, it's going to be game over. And Keon is filled out. But if you look at Derek, you look at Hottie, I think Keon can beat Hottie right now.
Oh, okay. So
I know I catch a lot of hate for saying that, but I think he can beat Hottie right now.
Okay, the thing is, when I think about it, in my head, I'm like, if he stands next to Andrew and Samson, he's going to have trouble. But then, at the same token, I'm like, I think but then I'm like, put him next to Derek and Hadi. I'm like, I think he's better than them in so many ways. I think they're gonna be more muscular, but I don't think it's gonna be as crazy as we think. I think he can actually hold his own and potentially beat them. But if he could beat them, that means he could beat Andrew and Samson because those two have beat them as well.
The issue with Andrew and Samson is
they're pretty.
They're big guys. They're nice to look at, but they're not. The one complete factor they're missing is the conditioning,
which Keon
and Keon's got it. You know, he brings the grainy factor. He's in shape. You know, if you look at his back double, his rear lat spread, there's like his adductors pretty much start at his spine and go to his knee. There's no thigh gap, broad, like sweeping quads, big back, broad shoulders for his height, broad clavicles for his height. You know, he's got a vacuum pose, and that waist to shoulder ratio is just stupid. So, you know, I just think it's it would come down to if you gave it to Samson or Andrew over him, it would just straight up be like you like the taller, bigger, thicker guy. Yeah. And I mean, I wouldn't argue and say that that's wrong either. But I think if Keon hopped in the Olympia right now, he would not be out of the top 5.
I don't think. Honestly, I want to say the way his muscle translates per pound, I think 6 to 8 pounds of muscle, I think he'll be fine for the title, man. I got to be honest.
Yeah, and I think he's only like.
Not that.
So me and him are not like close and tight, but like we're friends, like or we're friendly with each other, like we know each other, respectful each other. And I remember DMing him a while back, and I said, "Are you even at the top of the cap of this 212?" And he said, "No." I was like, "Fuck." I was like, "So yeah, if you put another 10 to 12 pounds on him, 10 to 12 pounds on that little frame is going to shock the shit out of people."
Yeah.
But the only thing, my only question with that would be, can it be done and not lose the aesthetics? And the only way to find out is to start slowly putting a pound or two on at a time. You know, don't just go all out and say we're going to be 20 pounds heavier next year and pull a Greg Kovacs.
Well, that's what he's done so far, and I think that's why. I wouldn't even say he kept his aesthetic. I would argue his aesthetics got better, like so far. You know, from classic to 212. I mean, if you miss out, because it seems like it was overnight. Like he gained 20 pounds overnight, but it was actually a very gradual process. You know, he's been adding a little bit every year, and now he looks like this huge guy. But he's been adding a little. He's actually not as big as you think. It's an illusion. But his aesthetics have gotten better because he's really, I don't know, maybe adding 4 pounds of muscle a year, 5, if that.
So, yeah, it's just, I think more so like when he got in shape is whenever, because he's always had the shape and he's always had a good amount of muscle. But when he actually got peeled, you know, like you always look bigger whenever you're sharp.
Yes. Exactly.
And I think whenever he got sharp, that was the game changer. And that's what launched him from like, I think he went from 5th to 1st, if I'm not mistaken.
100%.
So it was like 5th or 6th up to 1st place, and nobody disagreed with that at all. I don't think anybody in the world disagreed with that.
So I actually asked him what was the biggest difference. Okay, because when he got peeled, right, it's not just about big guys. We talk about it's not just about getting peeled, because to actually look peeled, it's not just body fat. We're talking about body fat. You got fluid. You got fullness. Because you can be in shape and not look in shape. So I'm like, I want to know how this happened, because it was like 1 year you're not in shape and all of a sudden you're like the best peaked guy in the fucking show. Like, what the fuck did you do? Like, I don't like getting too personal because I don't know what they're willing to share, even though me and him are pretty good friends. But he was like, I gotta be honest, like it's an entire picture thing. It's not like something you change last 2 weeks of the show. It's like bodybuilding became his entire life, and he's perfect with it.
That's correct. You just nailed it. You nailed that, because you know people always ask me like, what did you do from 2010 to 2014? I'm like, I got serious, but they don't want to hear that though. what drugs did you take? What was the secret site? What was the secret
diuretics?
sauce? Like,
something.
It really wasn't anything secret. It was a matter of me just taking all the components of bodybuilding needed and putting them all together at the exact same time. And I think with Keon, he always had muscle. He always had structure. And I remember he did a show with Palumbo. I think it was Palumbo.
Mm-hmm.
And it's whenever he got like 5th at the Arnold in Classic, back when he was still competing in Classic.
PJ, I think it was PJ coaching him. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it was. I don't know. Keon, I'm not calling him dumb. I don't think he understood bodybuilding. I think he was on that level and didn't have a clue how he even got to that level.
He was that good. Yeah.
Like, I think it was Dave said, like, well, the only thing that holds you back from winning the show is the conditioning. He goes, well, how much cardio did you do? He goes, I wasn't doing any cardio. And everyone kind of was like, well, maybe you should. And, when he talked about diet, it's like he just seemed like he didn't actually know, like, what a true bodybuilding diet was. Yeah. And I don't know if he just, like, you can hire a coach. And that don't mean that you're going to listen to what he says, right? Yeah. So, but for some reason, Patrick was able to get a breakthrough to it. And that's it. They clicked, they niched, and here you are. Here's your Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
I think it was literally, and not to mention, I do think his girl plays a big role in this, because I watched their videos and stuff, and she's with him at the gym. She's pushing him. She's making sure that he's doing everything. And I'm assuming, I'm willing to bet if Keon reaches into that pantry for something, she's just sitting there swatting there. Like, no.
Oh, man. Listen, man.
Keeps him on track.
Yeah, she's the best. When it comes to Amanda, her name is Amanda. If Amanda is your fiance, you're not gonna miss a beat. believe me.
I don't know her. I just know that she seemed to be playing a big part into like his progress right now.
Yeah, huge.
And I don't know if he'd be the same with her or without her, but like it just seemed kind of coincidence that she came into his life and Patrick came into his life, and the rest was history.
I think he needed those two at the right. It was the perfect storm. I think he needed those two people in his life for this to happen. And he's also young, so also like maturing himself. And then he had the perfect two people to help him with that. And it was night and day. Boy, look at the way he looks in these guest posings off season. It's like
he's in good shape all the time now.
You see all the
stage, like on competition.
Yeah, his stomach control, the lines are all there. It's like it's hard to believe. Like how can you actually keep the physique looking that good in the off season? Like everything is clean and fresh, and I don't know. It's very impressive though. Very impressive. Shout out to Keon.
Yeah, Derek was like that too. You remember the year that he won the Olympia? Nobody saw that coming.
He was, yeah. These guys are professionals, like in every sense of the word. There's
if you want to be Mr. Olympia, there is no room for error. Like honestly, I kind of feel like even if you want to be a pro bodybuilder, like there is no room for error. Like you cannot do it, whether it's off season, whether it's prep, whatever. There is no room. Like we do have some of these guys like that shows up that just has better genetics and they just grow better. They get leaner better. That may get you from the amateur level to the pro level, but what's getting from the pro level to the Olympia stage requires perfection. To win the Olympia requires genetics, hard work, and perfection. Like there is no other way around it. You have to have every tool, and all the jerks online. It's like, well, if I took drugs or it's more drugs, I would be willing to bet that half the people on the Olympia, I'd be willing to bet 3/4 of the Olympians take less than your average gym rat at Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
Like I actually kind of went off on a guy. I lost my shit on him because I was at Planet Fitness about a year ago. Mm-hmm. And just for cardio's sake. I mean, every now and then I train there because they're not terrible. As long as they kind of got rid of that whole lunk alarm bullshit. But like they got it, but nobody cares anymore.
Nobody gives a yeah.
But like I'm doing cardio, and this is I was in shape. This was before I I think it was before this shoulder. I had a little bit. This is the one I had surgery on. I think it was before this, but I was in pretty good shape. I guess I caught this kid's attention. And what the hilarious thing was, people don't think that I've been on TRT for like the last 9 years. They can't fathom that. So I get off the stepper, and this kid who I swear to you, if I didn't see him in the gym, I wouldn't assume he goes to the gym. I really wouldn't assume, and that's not a bad thing, but the first thing comes out of his mouth, like I'm like, because I'm just killed myself on the stepper. And he goes, "Hey, bro, how you doing?" I was like, "Good, man. How are you?" And like, I'm usually pretty open about like a PED topic, a diet topic. I'm usually pretty friendly. But if you're open, if you don't say, "Hey, my name is so-and-so," or like, "Hey, who are you?" Break the ice with me. If you just come up to me and just immediately, first word, drugs, I'm like, fuck you, dude. Just get the fuck out of here. Like, you obviously don't know what you're doing. Just get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
He comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, man, I wanted to pick your brain for a second. I'm taking 750 tests and this." And I'm like, I was literally said, "Bro, I'm not here to talk about drugs." And he goes, "But I'm taking," I said, "Did you not get what I just said? I'm not here to fucking talk to you about drugs."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Sorry," and walked off. And I didn't feel bad about it at all. It's like, I don't even know who you are. But I got thinking, I was like, dude, like, you don't look like you work out. And I have the stuff that he told me, Balzano took half of what this guy babbled off. And that was the 7th or 8th place at the Olympia.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting here thinking, like, how in the hell are you taking this and you don't physically look like you have a gym membership? Those are the ones that think that when they see a big guy, oh, he just upped his dosage. Oh, he's drier, he got leaner, more Clint, more T3, more diuretics. I'm like, yeah, that's not how that works. But go ahead.
But okay, but here's my thing. I don't even blame you for thinking that for a short period of time. Just like you feel like there's no way he's taking what I'm taking. He must be taking something else. Okay. But now fast forward 2 years or even a year of you doing this and nothing changes. At what point do you say, maybe this is not the way, right? At what point do you say, maybe I'm missing something here? Because, that happened to me. At one point, I'm like, maybe it's more GH. Yeah, I just need more GH. And you try it and you're like, no, that wasn't it.
We're not there, right?
So then eventually you should learn.
Remember, like, I'll refer to the COVID thing. This is really nothing to do with COVID or politics, but like, remember when COVID came out and people said the same people selling you the same people selling you, I don't remember what it was. They're selling you the cure too, right?
Yeah.
You always have somebody who's willing to sell you some type of like snake oil. And there's like, I'm not going to name a single one of their names, but I'm thinking of about 7 or 8 right now. A couple retired pros at that, and a couple of guys who just simply never was going to make it. They never will be, never was beast, never nothing. But like, they're the ones that'll get on here and they'll be like, "No, man, that guy took this." I'm like, you don't know what the hell he took. But all those guys out there that's trying to figure it out, they think it's more drugs and more chemicals. I loved Boston, but shit, he was one of them too, right?
He was.
Like,
yeah.
Boston thought more drugs is what makes these guys. I think now towards Boston's, like, as he matured, I think he started realizing, shit,
he did, yeah.
Not every single pro bodybuilder's lying here. Like,
yeah.
Like, because he would ask us. I told him what I took, and I could tell he's like, "Oh man, like you were on the lower side." And I know in his head he's like, "Fucking liar." I know that's what he was thinking. He didn't call me out, but I know that's what he was thinking. But like, I think towards the end, he was starting to come around and realize, like, well, shit, like, not everyone in the whole sport is lying to you. I mean, yeah, there is a few shitheads out there that's going to just blatantly tell you a lie. You're not going to be 300 pounds on 500 milligrams of test. It's just not going to happen. If you are, here's the fact: 300 pounds.
I think for him, that's what skewed him. I think because he's Boston Lloyd, some of the pros would intentionally say lower doses because they felt like that was helping him, so he doesn't take more. But it just made him even more like, why are you lying to me, right? Because there's a limit. Like when the guy says, 300 tests, he's like, Boston, like, I know you're not, So that it made him think all pros were liars. So I think he came around because a lot of the people, he started getting older. So the bodybuilders are getting older. So now the guys who were getting big, he knew them. So he could ask them people he felt like he could trust, right? Like, let's say for me, instance, we didn't talk for a little while, and I remember he saw a picture of me. I was like 300 pounds. He's like, bro, how did you get that big? I'm like,
I remember us having this conversation.
Yeah, I'm like, honestly, the kind of the same shit you would think. I mean, I eat the food, I take the GH, but like, how much GH? I'm like, I go as low as 2 IUs, as high as like 8. Really? 20 or 10? I'm like, if I go 10 plus, I just hold water. And he was like, huh? But I could tell he believed me because I don't fucking lie. Like, what the fuck am I lying to?
I would like this. If anyone ever wanted to call me out on what I'm saying, I can't back my own methods up because it's been fucking 9 years ago, and I don't have I didn't email myself my diet. I didn't email myself my program. But I coach my clients through WhatsApp, and guess what? If you click on that bottom, when you look a message, it'll say if it's been edited or not. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you can edit a message. Mm-hmm. So, like, if anyone wanted to say, oh, this client's taking XYZ, if they don't want to talk about it, I'll tell them just ignore that person. But if you want to talk about it, I don't care. You can put my name on it. You can screenshot it and say, cool. Well, if you think I'm taking triple, quadruple, whatever, go down here and look. See how this message was never edited? Here's my photos. Here's my check-in. Post the fucking diet. Post it all. I don't care because it ain't like it's going to work for the next guy anyways. Yeah, but like you can see, like it's not like there's a code. Like then that'll probably be thinking like, oh well, Justin probably said there's a code. Like this is daily. Like just like that's going to be their excuse. Like he said 700 milligrams weekly. He actually meant that every other day. Like that's going to be an excuse.
Well, the funny part of like, what if you did that? What if you did the opposite? What if guys were like, hey Justin, what do you think about 2 grams of test? And you're like, 2 grams is it? 5 grams, brother. And you tell him like that. And everybody thinking 5 grams and looks like shit. And they'll be like, I think Justin just bamboozled us. You'd be like, yeah, you think? Because you guys don't listen anyways. So you know what? Yeah, you're right. You're right. I did 20 IUs of GH, 5 grams. Go do it. And they'll do it. And they'll be like, Justin, it's not working. It's like,
sorry, man. Maybe take 10. 40 IUs GH.
Like
I've known one person to actually do that, and it was he looked like. Let me just say, he's a personal friend of mine, but he looked like shit.
But I think sometimes people need, like when the kid goes smokes a cigarette, and the dad is like, "Okay, smoke the whole pack," and they're like, and you're like, "Yeah, there you go." Like, you can't, So the funny part is, I think some people might need that reverse psychology. Like a guy would be like, oh, I want to do my first cycle, but I don't know. I'm like, it's not for you. Forget about it. Don't do it. Then all of a sudden they're like, no, I'm ready. And I'm like, bro, if you're not ready, just no. When you tell somebody don't do something, they want to do it all of a sudden, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, if you was to say, yeah, take 5 grams of test, they'll be like, whoa, take it easy there. What's going on, coach?
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh man. Okay. Let's wrap up this review. Did you agree with the placings more? Oh, first of all, I'm sorry. Speaking about people consistent, I've known Jordan for a while, and it's like he never blew up. He's just been a perfect bodybuilder for the last 6 years, and then we're just now seeing him get to a point where he finally has all the tissue he needs, and then now it's like, whoa, look how big this guy is.
It's been like slow progression, but consistent progression.
Exactly, because
telling now. Jordan didn't announce this, and nobody told me this. But like I saw Jordan's pictures, and obviously I even told Jordan this. Like after the show, or maybe I said it before the show. I don't remember. I said, I should be shaking your hand, calling you a 2-time Tampa Pro champion because you won this show last year. They just didn't fucking give it to you. Like I had Jordan winning this last year.
He got second?
No, they didn't. It was really, I think it should have been between him and Mo Foda. And they gave it to De La Rosa. Like,
yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and hate on John, but they pretty much put it in a Nice little box and bow tie, and handed it to him because I don't think he earned that at all. And you know me, I'm just going to call it how I see it. I had Jordan winning the show last year, and I was in the audience. I saw it. You know, it's not like anybody could say, "Well, you weren't there." Yeah, actually, I was there. I did see it.
Yeah.
But Jordan has been very consistent. And I told Joe going into it, I said, "This is the guy." And Jordan didn't make the confirmation, but I said to myself, I was like, I know he's going to do this damn show. Like, he's in too good a shape. Like, and I know what, like, he knows he's Olympian material. He's not going to put all of his eggs into one basket in Texas. He's already here. I was like, I will bet my balls that he is going to enter Tampa. I knew he was going to enter Tampa 2 weeks out. And I told Joe, I was like, this is the guy you have to beat. And sure enough, I mean, with the exception of Quint being the wild card, I was right. You know, and everyone's talking about the other athletes. You know, I'm just looking at Joe's check-ins, and I'm like, fuck the other athletes. Like, not fuck them. Like,
but yeah,
I was going to beat them. But, you know, Jordan, I think, got this. He nailed it. He looked good. Like I said, every person in that top 5 brought their own special attributes. Even Bruno looked amazing. I actually felt kind of bad because I said, I do have a big mouth, and I didn't say anything negative, but like, I said, I was like, well, Bruno ain't got a chance here. And I didn't realize, like, his family was right behind me. And when I say he didn't have a chance here, like, I mean, he didn't have a chance at winning it. Like, he wasn't close. When he walked out, he has a wow factor. So, like, I do apologize to his family if they see this. Like, I didn't mean that to be negative or offensive. But, like, people had Bruno over Joe, and I'm like, that ain't happening. It's not going to happen. Because Bruno naturally has a narrower clavicles. And the bad thing with Bruno is, I think, with his ceiling, like we're talking about, everyone has a ceiling. I think Bruno's ceiling is he's close to it, man.
He's round as hell, but he's narrow, man. He's narrow.
Well, that's my point. Is like where he's so narrow, like he's just not naturally a big frame man. I think that will always hold him back. Now, he's done a lot of shows this year. If I was Bruno, I would shut it down. And I might even potentially take 2026 off. And because he could still add a little bit more size to his hamstrings here. Like they look good, but they could be bigger. His glutes is not 100% dialed in. He could get a little tighter. And
he has small glutes, like surface area. Short.
Yeah, they're kind of bubbly up top and not so much like the insertions.
Yeah.
But I mean, he still has more muscle that he can fit on his frame. It's when I start looking at like the clavicle and the width and stuff, I don't see Bruno ever being able to be like a top 5 guy in the world. But he has more to go, but his ceiling is just not as high as someone like Joe, Quint, or Jordan. I think John Jewett is probably at his ceiling right now because even though we haven't really seen like drastic improve. Like John adds like 1% per year, but John's a veteran at this point. Like no one can say otherwise. He's turned pro in 2015. So, or maybe it was 2016, but that's 9 to 10 years as a pro. I don't foresee him just all of a sudden adding 15 more pounds of muscle. It's probably not going to happen. And if it does, I think we're going to see some backlash on his structure when he does that, right? And John's a smart guy, too. John's very intelligent. So John knows if he does that, he's actually going to get worse. And John's going to have to keep continuing to play that conditioning card, keep his structure, keep his midsection intact. Because at one point, I remember seeing John's midsection. I said, "Oh man, he's done, man. He probably just retired." Somehow he managed to pull back on it, like he got it back.
Posing though, honestly, I feel like he poses it really well. He doesn't have a great waist, but it kind of looks like he does. Kind of got a pretty.
It's decent not bad.
Waist. Yeah,
it's genuinely not bad. And John's another guy. This is why I think he might be at his ceiling because he doesn't have any weak points. I can't when they put him and Joe side by side. It's not like I was going, oh well, John don't have this, and
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
John has what he has.
Joe is
He
bigger.
just got beat by a better bodybuilder, and that's just life sometimes, right?
So for some reason, this hasn't been circulated for some reason, but I watched John's last YouTube video like a week ago. He already announced his retirement. Just but ahead of time, he said next year is his last season.
Oh, so 2026 is last season.
Yeah, but
I
he
mean,
didn't go.
that would
He didn't
make
go into
sense.
detail.
I mean, I think at this point, like, didn't John get like sixth, seventh in the 212 Olympia, something like that?
No, he got fourth,
Fifth,
bro.
fourth. Okay, so
Yeah,
he
he got
got
fourth.
high. Okay, kudos to him. So,
Hmm.
at this point, John has done very amazing things with his life and his career. I remember meeting him at the Europa. I think it was, so I guess John turned pro in 2016 because I met him in 2015, I think is what it was.
Hmm.
I may be getting those years fucked up. I mean, it has been 10 years ago, right? And I used to travel to all the shows, so I don't know which one's which at this point. But I remember meeting him, and I don't know what he did for a living prior to this, but I know he wasn't getting paid as an amateur. So he's been able to win. He's won open shows too, right?
Yeah,
He's won
yeah.
open show. He's
I
won
think he
open
won.
pro show. He's won multiple 212 shows. He's been fourth at the 212 Olympia. He's been, what was he, 11th at the, it could have been a little higher as well at the Open Olympia.
He
So I'm going to
was,
say
yeah.
John's a top 10 guy in the world. He's got that. Then he's got his J3 university. He's made a shitload of money. He's highly knowledgeable. He will always be relevant. He's always going to be able to help people with their physique, help people with their health, help people with their training. John's done amazing things. So if John wants to retire right now, I would say he's had a very successful career. Probably more successful than 99% of all pros out there. Maybe he didn't win the Olympia, but like he took his physique and he did every single thing he could possibly do with it.
Yeah. Well, right before he went to Open, he said it's always been a goal of him to qualify for the Open Olympia. And once he does that, he's achieved everything he wanted to in bodybuilding. So he's already done that. So I guess he already staged like another 2 years extra to what he said, So,
It's
um,
to give up though,
mhm.
man. Like I know a couple of guys that, as we've had this conversation, because they always ask me, like, hey man, was it hard for you? And I'm like, what do you think? Like, do
Yeah.
you think I just walked away? I'm like, why am I still here? Like, I'm
Yeah.
still at shows. I'm still involved. I didn't just, like, it's not an easy task to do. And it doesn't matter if you are, the local, in my case, like a local Mr. Kentucky or a local Mr. Florida, since those are the states I live in, or you're in your case, like a local Mr. California, and that's all you've done your whole life. It's hard to walk away from it.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like I talked to a guy one time. This is how hard it is for guys to walk away from bodybuilding.
Hmm.
I remember when I was training at LA Fitness, this guy comes up to me, super nice guy, approached me in the gym. We had a little short conversation. He was in his upper 50s and he was talking about competing again. And he flipped through his phone. He showed me some of his old pictures. And I said, actually, man, you looked pretty good like when you competed. Like, I mean, he was covered when I saw him. I was like, obviously, you don't have that much muscle now. I said, maybe you could get it back. Maybe you can't get it back. And he was telling me how he was thinking about giving it one more run to do Masters Nationals. And I said, well, as long as your health is right and you're injury free, what do you got to lose? Like, what do you got to lose? And then he went on to tell me, and he's like, well, that's just it. He goes, my health is not 100%. And I was like,
Oh,
well, I don't think I have to
that's it.
explain where this is going, right? And it
Yeah.
wasn't like a heart, liver, kidney thing, what most people would assume from a bodybuilder. It's a prostate. Like his
Oh,
PSA
okay.
was high, and he said his doctor told him, like, you can't take testosterone no more. And like I think he's on like the minimum, like a 70, 80 milligram test a week just to like keep some in there. But like that's all he can do. And he goes, I don't really want to fucking do this. I want to actually do it again. And I was
Mm.
like, well, how bad like what's your PSA? Like what's and he told me the number. It was like in the fives or something, fives or sixes. I was like,
Well,
what do the doctors say? And he goes, well, the doctor told me if I keep doing steroids, I'm gonna have to have my prostate removed. And I just looked him in the face and was like, is doing a bodybuilding show worth that? I said, is doing a bodybuilding show and winning it worth that? Is doing a bodybuilding show and getting your pro card worth that? And he kind of like, he didn't really seem to have any hesitation. I said, are you married? He said, yeah. I said, I was point blank, and I'm a very wide open person. Some people love me for this. Some people hate me for this, or maybe they just think I'm weird, or maybe they just think I'm weird in general. I don't know. But I said, do you have sex with your wife? And he kind of looked at me like, why the fuck you asking? I was like, he's like, yeah. I said, well, you know what happens when you remove the prostate, right?
What? I don't know. What happens? I never knew.
You don't come anymore.
Oh, that's not fun.
That's my fucking point, right?
That takes the fun out of it. Yeah. Oh,
he didn't understand it. I told him, I was like, you're not gonna, like, this is what's gonna happen to you. And he goes, no, that's issue. This is exactly what happens. So you can go do your research online. And to the best of my knowledge, I think, now this is key word, I think. There may be somebody in the comments correct me on. So understand, guys, I'm not a medical doctor. This is just me. I'm not Googling. This is coming off the top of my head. Mm-hmm. I think you actually have to have a catheter to go to the bathroom as well if there's no prostate.
Oh, my goodness.
So it's like, imagine shoving a hose up your dick to go to the bathroom. And the only reason I say this, and there could be more complications, is I have a friend that their father in his mid to late 60s had this, and he's still alive, he's fine, but like they were telling me this is how their father has to live. And I was like, damn, man, like, so like, you're not ever going to have sex again, or at least, I mean, if you get it hard, what's the point in getting hard if you can't get off, right?
That's
like,
terrible.
It's a terrible, terrible thing. And then like you got to use like a catheter to go to the bathroom. Obviously, this man was not a bodybuilder. He got a shitty deck of hands in life, unfortunately. Yeah. But like, if your doctor tells you if you take steroids anymore, you're gonna lose your prostate. I looked at him. I said, man, I think that's a dumbass decision. You want my honest opinion? That's a dumbass decision. Like, I was like, what's your pro card? I was like, here, I'll give you mine. I'll give you 4 or 5 of mine. What's it going to do for you? Like, you're not going to make more money with it. Like, not in your mid-50s. You're not going to be winning pro shows in your mid-50s. Like, sure, you accomplished a goal, but, like, I would much rather be able, if I'm 55 years old, I'd much rather be able to sleep with my wife as to say I won another damn trophy.
Man, if I'm 55, I don't want to think about fucking dieting at 55.
Yeah.
I want to think about...
I'm not going to be.
No, I don't want to think about suffering and like no, not at 55, bro.
Like, I love Milos and everything, and I know Milos stays on his shit, and he's one of the and Michael Hearn, but I ain't going to be a Michael Hearn, and I'm not going to be a Milos.
What?
My fat ass is going to be eating cheeseburgers.
Yeah, I mean, you want to? I
may have clogged arteries, but I'm going out on my terms.
At that point, okay, but I think the biggest difference is that, as much as we love bodybuilding, we have other passions. I don't think everybody has. I think some people have no other passion. Well, Milos likes UFC, at least, you know. But in general, I think some people have zero other passions in life other than bodybuilding. I think that's dangerous. Maybe when you're 25, that's fine. But if you're 50, bro, you gotta have other things that you are interested in, you know.
And it's like we all kind of change and we evolve, and it doesn't mean that we leave it behind. We just we have to separate a little bit. Like, for example, my primary fishing friend that I go out with all the time, we actually met in a fishing group, like a fishing community. And then when he sees me, you know, he realizes, oh, this guy's big. And then he finds out, oh, shit, that's Justin Compton. You know, and he's never viewed me like that. Otherwise, we wouldn't be friends, because I don't want people to put me on a fucking pedestal. Shake my hand and talk to me like a normal person. I do not like to be viewed anything else in that.
Yeah.
But we started talking. He goes, you know, I used to do bodybuilding back in the day. I was like, okay. I mean, I can tell you're big. Like, you know, you're a thicker guy. And he showed me pictures. He competed as, you know, a natural drug-free bodybuilder. And I was like, fuck, you're better than I was when I was natural. And he made the cover of like a local magazine or two. But like
Okay.
my point is like he did that through his 20s and 30s, and then he got into jiu-jitsu after that.
Perfect.
And
Yeah.
he does jiu-jitsu seldomly. He does enough jiu-jitsu he could whip mine and your ass at the same time, probably.
Yeah.
But now he fishes all the time. So like everyone kind of moves and goes. We don't forget about it, and we're still there, but we don't just go balls to the wall bodybuilding. Like I can't do that in my 50s and 60s.
No, you got to be smart. That's the mindset you have in your 20s. That's why if you're able to reach a high level of bodybuilding in your 20s, it's perfect because you still have that obsession phase, which works in your 20s. But you remember when I had the pneumonia, I was like 26, 27,
Yeah,
and I'm
young.
like, yeah, and I'm like, hey, Compton, my ejection fraction is down a bit. And I don't remember the numbers now, but and I told you, and you're like,
It
oh
was
yeah.
low, and I freaked out. I was like, "Oh shit!"
He go back, yeah, I would, I would, I would forget about competing right now, But the whole time, I just wanted to get the number up so I could compete again. It wasn't like, let me get the number up so I could fucking survive and be healthy. It's like, once I get the number up, I want to bodybuild. And honestly, now, if that happened now, I would just stop. I would just be like, nah, no, I think I'm good. Even if the number came back up, I would be like, why? You know?
Yeah,
I,
at
I,
that point, there's like if you're not. I had this conversation with Joe and Paul this past weekend. One of my friends met Nasser before he passed away,
mhm.
and Nasser not being American, sometimes like his verbiage may be a little bit different. But he
Yeah.
made a very valid point, and you'll understand what he said here.
Mhm.
They asked him, like, I guess, what's it take to be a top level bodybuilder? And Nasser said to be a top level bodybuilder, you have to have a strong constitution. And by strong constitution, everything in here to be able to tolerate and do that. Like if you could do it without like a spleen, you could do it without a gallbladder, you could do it without an appendix. But man, if you're starting to have problems with like organs that require you to fucking live, you can't play with that. You cannot play with that at all.
No,
And I
yeah,
don't think
it's
a
not
lot of
gonna
these
happen.
guys understand that.
It's not, and then the trade off is really silly to think about for most people. Obviously, like if it's like if you're like Samson and you're winning 500 grand, there's more thought into that. But most people in this situation aren't necessarily making like a crazy amount of money, right? Even if you're making a living off of bodybuilding, this is not like a most people are making like a lucrative living. It's like a decent living.
Well, even then, though, I look at it like this because your quality of life will always trump money, no matter what. Because you have like
Mm-hmm.
some people that are like con men and they're looking to like sue somebody all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember when I did the All Business Bodybuilding podcast with Joe Bentley and Don Cardone,
Mm-hmm.
and Luke was our moderator. And Luke, I think this was off the air, but Luke said like his uncle was kind of became like a pro con man. Like he passed law school, not to be a lawyer, but to be able to maximize it in other ways. And he would like if he saw something like the floor was wet and there's not a wet floor sign, he'd go fall and then get a $30,000 to $40,000 settlement. He did that one too many times until he actually did hurt himself. Like I guess he did like a fake fall because I think he said he was like a 400-pound guy,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like a fat guy. So like if you do that fall and you don't fall right, and, you break your back or you fuck up a disc, it's like, was that 50 grand really worth that? Or like these guys
Yeah.
that like try purposely. I had a guy test me in Tampa, and I was like I have a green light, and he's got the pedestrian thing saying stop, and he decides to ride his bike. Not like you got to think if I'm on a not an e-bike and not a motorcycle but a bicycle
Yeah.
pedaling. If I realize there's cars coming, I'm going to be pedaling that bitch as fast as I can because I don't want to get hit by a car, right?
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
just sitting there, just going along, and he sees me like he's crossing, and I pull up on him, and he kind of stops and he looks at me, kind of gives me like the fuck, like go ahead, hit me. And I'm thinking, I was like, what if I was going like 60 miles an hour and I plowed your ass? So two things going to happen: you're going to die, or two, I'm going to cripple you for the rest of your life. Sure, you're going to sue me. maybe you sue me and you take my insurance to town and you get $2 million. You're in a fucking wheelchair forever. Was that $2 million really worth it? So you see where I'm going with this?
To be honest,
if you have a health concern, like even if you're Mr. Olympia, if you have a health concern that's going to change your life forever or potentially kill you, is making that extra $1 million worth you having a collapsed spine or heart failure, kidney failure, liver failure? Some people may say, okay, diabetes, I can live with that. And you can. Yeah. I honestly don't know if I would even trade it for diabetes.
No, I would. Well, we also have the, well, I don't know if this is not a privilege, but we also had the experience of being in ICU, potentially on like our deathbed, right? According to the doctors, like, well, you might, once you're in ICU,
I've been there. I know.
As I'm saying, yeah. Well, once you're in ICU, it's like, shit, this is real. So, I was in the coma the whole nine. So being that we've been there, we know for a fact that we're not willing to go back there. We're just not. So like you said, even if you put 500 grand, we would love 500 grand. But if you're willing to die for 500 grand, that's kind of silly, right? Because what are you saying? You're not going to have the 500 grand when you're dead. Like, yeah. I mean, what the fuck is that? So,
what good does it do you? It's like if you had $20 million from a lawsuit or a bodybuilding show, whatever it is, like, and I know, and I'm not picking on poor Ronnie because everybody picks on Ronnie, but like Ronnie didn't foresee that coming. But I'm sure if you could rewind, I know he may say otherwise on this, but I truly think with Ronnie, if you could rewind to like say 2001, 2002, and someone had a crystal ball and said, "Hey, Ronnie, if you do these next 3 or 4 Olympias, you're going to be in a wheelchair in your 50s. You're going to have a lot of problems. Will you shut it down now, or do you want to win 3 more Olympias and be in a wheelchair in your 50s?" I think if someone literally said, "I guarantee you this is a fact, I am a future seer, I am God, you're going to be in a wheelchair," I think he would say, "I'm good. I'll hang it up."
Oh, I would hope so.
He won't say that, but I think that would be what he would really feel.
I would hope so. I mean, if there's anyone who would probably still do it anyways, it probably would be Ronnie.
Yes.
But I gotta be honest, like I love Ronnie, but that's not a good thing. There's how do I say this? That's not a positive thing, brother. But that's not something to like. I do look up to Ronnie as far as I do love the strength he has. That he doesn't complain, because if you do it anyways, don't complain about it. Don't be one of those guys that, oh, woe is me. So I love the fact that he never makes anybody. If anything, it's the opposite. He's like, "Oh, I feel good, Ron. Don't worry." And I'm like, I don't think you feel good, Ronnie, but at least you have that spirit. So that I respect.
Going on, yeah.
So that I respect.
That's my mentality as well. Like after Tampa, I went out and I ate with an old friend of mine, actually an old client, but I don't even talk to him like that. He's literally just a friend of mine. But Alex Palmer, you know Alex probably, right?
Yeah, I know him. Uh-huh.
I went out to eat with like him and his family. I won't talk about the subject that we were on. We were on a tense topic. Just say that. And I told it. I said, "Look, this is blah blah blah." And he goes, "Justin, I believe you would do that." He goes, "I'd probably support you." He goes, "The only thing is," he goes, when the repercussions happen, you get this would be a legal matter, obviously.
Yeah.
He's like, when the repercussion happened, he goes, "I don't want to see no fucking GoFundMe's, looking for my attorney fees." He said, "Because you knew this." He goes, "If you want to do it," he goes, "I'd back you up on it." He goes, "But understand, actions have consequences. Accept responsibility for your actions."
Simple as that. That's all you can. I think there's nothing more annoying than bodybuilders playing the victim card, whether it's like blaming coaches or blaming this or that. It is like anything can happen. Like if tomorrow all of a sudden you're fucking, well, you already have shoulder issues, right?
Not well. They're good right now, and I'm planning on keeping them that way. Yeah.
Okay. Well, but if anything
I've had
happens,
surgery on one.
Basically, if anything happens, my shoulder gives out, or fucking diabetes, or whatever you can imagine, if that happens, then it's like, well, Well, it happened because it could have happened regardless. So it's like, okay, take it on the chin. We all knew there was gonna be risk. Nobody knows exactly what's gonna happen, but we all knew potential risk. But we get smarter as we go. I'm 32 right now. There's nothing I'm willing to do, which somebody can say, well, bodybuilding in itself is risking your health, but there's no dose. I'm not titrating up on no doses of anything. I'm not trying new foreign drugs. Whatever I've been taking now, this steady that I feel like I can do it in a healthy way. That's it.
Yeah.
Luckily I was able to make improvements this year. But if I couldn't make improvements, it is what it is. I'm not willing to do something crazy to my body at this point. It just wouldn't be worth it for me. It just wouldn't. So if I can't improve off what I'm doing for a couple years and I can't move up, then that would just be it. Okay, this is as far as I can get. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna double the growth or take. Honestly, I don't even think that would make me look better. But even if it did, I wouldn't be willing to do it at this point. I just wouldn't be. Yeah. So, but everybody has something that works for them as far as risk, because there is risk in everything we do: business, relationships. There's going to be some risk.
You don't have to check the mailbox. I mean, you risk getting hit by a fucking car. There's risk always in life. I mean, obviously, certain sports and stuff, when you're tampering with, I mean, even natural bodybuilding, like no drugs, no nothing.
It's rough.
You may not have anything go on inside of here, but there's a risk that you're going to tear something at any moment in time in that gym, and you have to be willing to accept that risk to be a bodybuilder. Like, if anybody got mad at their coach and they were like, oh, well, I tore my tricep because my coach told me, man, you knew the risk going into the gym. Like, you picked up some heavy ass weights. Shit can happen.
Exactly. You gotta, you gotta roll with the punches. All right, we've been off for a minute now. I don't want to hold you too long, but I saw something I wanted. Let me double check. I saw like a post I think that I wanted to talk about. Let me just double check. But if anything, I could just have you back on because we didn't talk about the USA's. But we could
man, I think that was your best look so far, by far.
What did you think? Did you look at the whole lineup? What did you think about the lineup in general?
I looked at the heavyweights and the super heavyweights. I didn't really look at the light heavyweights that much, to be fair.
Okay. Let me see.
I know you said your roommate got second in the light heavies, which
he did.
Like he's another one of those guys that like. The average person on the street, if you like when he was natural, honestly, when I looked at him, I didn't think he was natural. When you told me, I was like, well, Beatty's not going to just fucking bullshit me. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, if this dude's natural, is like, he's going to, you said he started a prep at 190 and finished at 190.
So when he did the cow last year, so this was natural when he did the cow, right? So even looking at this, I remember Zayd was like, what do you mean by natural? I'm like, bro, he doesn't even understand by if you told him like because mind you, I'm training with him, right? So people are talking about drugs, right? And he's standing there, he has nothing to say. He has no idea what we're talking about, literally. So he's like, okay, yeah. They're like, yeah, because I like EQ. And he's like, what the fuck is EQ? What the fuck? He had no clue. And I'm like, don't worry about it. You don't gotta
you'll figure it out.
You'll figure out later. And honestly, he still doesn't. He's just following he still doesn't really know what the fuck is going on. But yeah, this was natural, and obviously nobody knew he was natural at this point. And then for the USA, this is which one is the regular video? This is the regular video, or the prejudging? Yeah. So I think he could have been tighter. I think if he was tighter, I think he would have won, and if his posing was better. But
I think the big thing on him moving forward, though, is like what we talked about before. He needs to get his hamstrings up without growing his glutes.
Yes, absolutely.
So I wouldn't have him do any like RDLs or anything like that. I would not want to engage those glutes. It's going to be leg curls on top of leg curls on top of leg curls. And you're going to have to make sure that his hip positioning is right. That way he's not actually engaging his glutes on his leg curls. I'd keep him off like the barbell squat for sure. You can let him do hack squats. You can let him do leg press. Keeping the feet low on the platform and making sure he's keeping the tension where it needs to be. That's going to be the biggest point, because most people wouldn't understand that, like, if this was this guy's first time hitting the super supplements, that's pretty fucking impressive to come to the USA's and get second like this. A little bit of fine tuning with dieting, a little bit of fine tuning with training, and he's going to just crush it next year. Now I feel like I'm Sam Sulek. You know, I feel like I'm. You walked away. You weren't there. I was like, I won't keep talking. Like we were talking about Sam this past weekend. I was like, I don't not like Sam at all. I was like, I think he seems like a good guy. I was like, but it's weird how he got that niche. It's like he became a millionaire by talking to his rearview mirror.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about it, you know. But yeah, like you said, yeah, no more glutes, hamstrings. He could use some more quad.
If he use more quad and hamstring, he's just got to be careful on growing the glutes too much.
Exactly. He doesn't have sweepy quads, but they look pretty balanced, you know. But obviously, this is just the beginning. So a lot more to come from that. Oh, this was the lineup. This guy, you remember him last year? He's actually really impressive. I'm not gonna lie. His name is Logan, I think. He got top 5 last year as well. He was really impressive in person. This guy, I mean, they were all impressive. This guy was really impressive. This guy is impressive. It was a good. They all have really good shape, good muscle bellies, the whole nine. But where do I find I guess my page. I want to see the whole lineup, the whole super lineup. You get 3, but yeah. So I think he was in the best shape out of all of us, and the biggest structure. I think he did. Knox had like a good balance overall and a nice looking physique, I would say.
Yeah. I personally would have, I mean, this is my opinion, and I'm not here to like just toot your horn or anything on this, but based on pictures, I would put the white boy winning, and I would probably put you in second. And I know a lot of people's going to say, what the hell? How are you going to do that to the overall winner? But the thing with Chris is he does have the best balance. There's no doubt about that. And Chris probably has the highest ceiling between the 3 of you guys. Like, because Chris is still a rookie. I think this is his 2nd year, like, at a national level, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe 2nd or 3rd. Maybe he's pretty...
Second year, because last year he competed as a heavyweight and he was like almost.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he needs to focus a little bit more on conditioning, especially in the lower half. But I mean, he has the tools, and they are there. I just did not have him winning that. But maybe, like I said, I wasn't there in the audience. Maybe it was different in person. But just looking at the pictures, because like. You can't say it's the lights, because when I look at all 3 of you guys are on the same stage at the same time. It's not edited. There's no Photoshop here. There is. Goob would have already busted you for that one. But like conditioning wise, you and the white guy here are both beating him on conditioning, and you're also both beating him on size, and neither one of you guys have bad shape. So, like, I was a little confused at that one, and I'm not knocking Chris because I think Chris is going to be a good pro as well. He just hasn't arrived yet. I mean, he has a better shape here than the white guy, but like you can't say lights because look at the white guy's legs. Like they're very dug out. Yours is leaner too. Yours is sharper. The insertion points.
Yeah, so, you said lower body. I think his upper body seems to be in better condition than his lower body, right? Because
yes, his upper body is significantly better than the lower body.
Yeah, I did notice that. Like the quads and glutes aren't as hard as his. Like if you see like his, so you see this the glutes and hams, but then versus like his chest is pretty striated and abs.
Yeah.
So it's like the upper body was So he gets lean in upper body.
Here's the thing, though. I think realistically, if they were to put, so that's your top three, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they put him in between you two guys, you are going to expose him on size. And I think lower body conditioning, you both would expose him on that. So, again, it's not me picking on Chris. I'm just picking on, or I'm not picking on anybody, but just I'm calling it as I see it off of these photos.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but it was a good lineup. The guys were super cool. This dude is super cool, humble guy. So hopefully we all turn pro this year at some point. Hopefully.
Yeah, I think. Are you doing another one this year?
Yeah.
Have you made an announcement on, or is that like a hush hush?
No. It's not. It's more so because I kind of want to be sure myself, just because I don't believe I'm going to do North Americas. I think my body does need a little time to recuperate. But we have the amateur O would be like 9 weeks, and then we have nationals, which would be like 19 weeks. So for amateur O, I wouldn't be able to like add tissue, but I think I would be able to have a better. I didn't. Did I tell you I had like a stomach bug and I had like diarrhea the last like a week?
Yeah, that sucks. No, I didn't know that.
So I did have it. So I could definitely bring a better look even in a shorter amount of time. But I would like to be able to be maybe like 3 pounds more muscular.
I think with that time frame that you have time to rebound a little bit as long as you're keeping it tight, and then go back into a prep, and you could be in better shape with a few extra pounds as well.
That's what I'm kind of going for. To be honest, I kind of want an excuse to go to Texas, so I kind of want to do nationals just so I go to Texas as well.
I'll be in Texas at about 14 hours from now.
Oh, there you go. Amateur
I haven't
is
been to Texas in a while, but like I thought about, man, I've got 2 business deals in the works, and I don't think either one of them is going to go through. It's just like the price of rent around where I'm at.
Yeah.
But if neither one of these go through, I think I'm going to leave Florida. I never thought I would say that, man.
Oh, shit.
Leave Florida, and Texas is my first option.
Yeah, Texas. I mean, Texas is not. Would it be like Dallas Fort Worth area?
No. Man, I'm a small town boy. I can't handle a big city life. Like I grew up in the country. That's just what I like. It's what I prefer. So you've heard of Corpus Christi?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
It's like to the best. I have not visited the town. I'm gonna give you one guess. Why do you think I would move there?
Fishing.
It's right there on the water, man. It's right on the water. And just shoot right out in the Gulf and just go. Yeah. So I've done a little research on it, and I'm like, okay, because it's a small town, it's a little bit more affordable. It's more affordable. It's, you don't deal with big city traffic. You don't got all that shit going on. And I'm right there on the water. Plus, I just like being on the water, like near it, man. That's my life now. Like that's my happy place. Like, you have like Happy Gilmore going to his happy place.
Yeah.
Place is on the boat.
It brings you that peace, right? Sense of peace.
And sometimes I like actually being out by myself, just straight up, just me ripping it wide open throttle, just shooting out with no destination. There's no, and sometimes I do. I got no destination. I go out to find birds. I'm looking for birds. You find the birds, you find the fish.
There you go. Yeah. I feel like I said, we all need a passion because we need that sense of peace. That sense of peace definitely helps us. Yeah. I'll find myself now, and perhaps I used to watch like old Kevin Levrone videos and stuff. Nowadays, I try to not watch bodybuilding because my whole day in prep is bodybuilding. So now I'm like, I kind of want to not watch bodybuilding.
It's kind of weird because you'll go through phases like that, and I didn't think I would say this, but like after watching the Tampa Pro, I have watched more bodybuilding in the last 3 to 5 days than I have watched in the last year. That show actually kind of reignited a little bit of fire.
It was fun. It was a fun show, man.
It was the deepest show of the entire year, outside of the Arnold, outside of the Olympia. like you have basically your 8th through 12th place guys. I don't think anyone can argue that that top 10 could be 8th through 12th at the Olympia.
I mean,
maybe not on the 8th side for some of them, but like that 10th or 12th, I think could be there. I mean, Bruno did it last year and he was 5th. John De La Rosa did it last year. He was 6th.
I think I gotta be honest with you. I think Jordan or the top 3. I think Jordan, Quint, and Joe are top 10 guys. I gotta be honest with you.
Yeah, I really do.
I mean,
I really do. Like, I think a couple of people told Joe, they said if it was any other show but this one, you would have won it.
Yeah. Listen, like these guys are good. Not like good for Tampa. Like these
guys are all Olympia caliber athletes.
But we just
like your top 5 is Olympia caliber athletes.
We literally talk about the guy from China getting fucking like 12th place or Shire getting 13th place. These are not slouches, and they didn't get top 10.
And you know the beauty thing is, I don't know if you looked at the other categories, but if you looked at 212, look at men's physique, look at wellness, look at bikini, look at figure. If you go look at those second and third call outs, that's first call out at other shows. Like that's why I was just like, this show really like brought. I spent $120 on the finals, and I hate going there and looking at, how do I say this and say it nicely? Out of shape bodybuilders. Just gonna point blank say, like, I don't want to go there to a show and see 1 or 2 guys that look really good, and then the rest of them, this is like, I'm just gonna text on my phone. Like, I don't really want to watch what's up here. I'm gonna look down. But like this one, I'm like, I just like was like, okay, I got to keep my eyes on shit. Like, this guy looks good, next guy looks good, this girl looks good. I'm like, fuck, man, this is a good show.
Did you see this guy in person?
Oh yeah, I saw him too. He was good, man. He was also incredible. He's nuts. That front double bicep is just sick,
bro. His proportions are like, what am I looking at here? I'm like, what the fuck? And then sometimes with the making weight, you hear some of these weights and you're looking at this guy, he's like, shit, like this guy wins fucking nationals.
Oh, you froze.
I froze. Like some of their weights, I'm like, this guy would win overall bodybuilding and nationals at like one, I don't know what the fuck he weighs, but like you look at these physiques.
He looks taller. I would say he's probably 230.
Okay, well he looks fucking insane, bro.
Yes, if this guy put on bodybuilding trunks and went to nationals, everybody's gonna be hurting.
Exactly. This is.
I don't care what he weighs, no matter what class he's in. He's gonna kick ass.
It literally, it wouldn't even matter what weight class. Like, just that physique is insane, man. So that's crazy show, man.
That right there, that back double as well that he's gonna do. That's. Like, this guy's going to shake it at the Olympia. Mark my words on that.
Oh, you can't miss that. As long as he doesn't miss conditioning or coming super flat or something like that, you can't miss that physique, man. That's a very fucking impressive physique.
Probably a top 6, top 7 physique at the Olympia, maybe higher.
Yeah. I mean, that, and it's classic.
Okay, we're back.
Yeah, but it's very classic looking, whatever that means, you know.
Yeah, he has like the small waist. I don't know. I guess sometimes when I think classic, I see like a lot of the older guys talking about this. They don't like the big legs on like the new age bodybuilding.
It looks nice,
but I'm sorry, like it is bodybuilding. You know, like we're trying to build muscle tissue. That includes calves. That includes quads. Includes hamstring. Includes glutes.
Yeah.
Some guys don't like it, but those are the guys I feel like that idolized Arnold. They idolized Zane. They idolized Columbo. The guys who didn't have those body parts, and that's fine. You know, it's just a different era, different look. You know, but like technically, I feel like if you want classic, you need to define classic because 90s was classic, 80s was classic, 70s was classic, but it's all different appearances, though, right?
Yeah. Tom Platz was classic. He had huge legs, you know.
He was the exception to the rule.
Yeah.
He was like the only guy that had legs like that in his era.
Didn't even make sense. All right, Compton. We've been on for a while now. Thank you for coming on, man. I appreciate that, man. Nice
All right,
little
man.
wrap up,
Well,
man.
maybe we'll do another one after Texas here. But
Yeah.
for now, I'm going to get to work and keep working until after Texas and then slow down.
Yes, sir. Good luck. Hopefully, Joe could jump over these guys. I mean, they're all my friends, but Joe is closer to me than probably everybody combined.
Well, I know that there's 3 things that we're going to that we can. It's within our control, and we will be improved on. I can't guarantee it's going to be enough, but I can guarantee the judges are going to notice it. 3 things that we did not get 100% spot on with TAMPA that will be improved in Texas. That it's not a muscular, not a conditioning thing, but it is a presentation thing.
Fire.
So knowing that, I think we're going to see an even better version of Joe, and I think he's going to get even more traction and turn more heads.
Game time. All right.
Whatever happens after that, I'm not the guy with the pencil. I don't make the judging. I don't make the score, but I know we're bringing a better bodybuilder than what we brought in Tampa.
Yeah. So anybody who don't know Joe, they know him now. It's always nice. I feel like when I used to talk about him, people would be like, oh, "Okay, cool." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't think they're understanding what I'm saying here, but it's okay."
No.
In due time, everybody happens. All right, Justin, you already know.
All right, man. Have a good night.